All right, now I'm imagining a young black British, or let's put it this way, a young black British Jamaican of Jamaican heritage who is
Yeah.
looking at you now, and she want or he want to become a filmmaker in Britain, but he or she doesn't yet understand how it works. So, what really does it take to become a filmmaker in Britain, and in this case, black British Jamaica?
Well, firstly, I would say it takes a lot. It takes a lot of resilience. Like you definitely need to be resilient in this British UK film industry because it is very difficult because it's very streamlined, but it's not impossible. So if you did want to like get into the industry and become a filmmaker, I would say just go out there, get your phone, and I know you might hear this all the time, but get your phone and just start putting little films together. Literally, get a small team of creatives, people with the same interest, get a lot of script together and just start making content. It's the only way that you're going to get yourself out there because trying to get through the other way with no experience and trying to get straight into the mainstream industry of filmmaking in the UK is very difficult. I've been doing it for 8 years and I've not got through yet. And like and it's like my film has got like over 1.1 million views on YouTube, and that's on my own channel. And that's me doing that independently. And I still haven't sort of like broken down the gates and crossed over to that mainstream side yet. And I'm not saying it's not impossible because it is. And I know like obviously I'm gonna be getting there. Do you get what I mean? But if you want to become a filmmaker, I'd say just get your stuff together, do your research. There's so much content online. Like I never went to film school. I did a creative writing degree, and straight after finishing, I just made a feature film like guerrilla style. Me and some friends got together. We had a script and we just went out and made the film. And you just got to build upon your own content. I feel it's like get to that point where the gatekeepers and the people in the industry, they come to you. They start seeing, oh wow, this is what this person has done all by themselves. So that's when they will start to want to invest in you because I feel like in the UK, they don't invest in you until the world invests in you or till other countries invest in you. That's why we have so much talent running away from the UK, like going back to Africa, going over to the States and making massive careers for themselves over there because it's so much easier. So even myself, like once I sort of drop this film that I'm doing now and that becomes sort of mainstream, I'm going to be looking to go and do some work in the States.
All right. In terms of maybe the technicality of it, somebody now, okay, have the motivation because he or she listens to you and want to get started. I don't know what you might okay, if you have a lot of money, you can just enroll in the mainstream school for filmmaking to get started. But say maybe we are looking at the community that don't have a lot of money now, but some individuals still want to come out and express themselves through film because there are the basis of taking a picture, no, and some of these things so that they can get started with limited resources on their hands.
When I started out, I didn't know anything about filmmaking, but over time, I just learned I got a lot of information and a lot of resources online. So even now I'm always watching content and I think you can learn. It's like even I started out doing YouTube a few years back and I had no idea how to set up the camera. I had no idea about lighting, what camera or anything to get. And the information is there, it's online, it's free. Like it's so simple to just go online and just focus on the basics. So if you want to become a filmmaker, you might type in like to Google like basic equipment to filmmaking, and a lot of the time you will find that you can use your phone to make a film. Like there are even competitions out there where they accept your film from a phone, being made from a phone. Do you get what I mean? Like it can be that simple. I know it sounds a bit like brushing off, but to become a filmmaker, You just have to do it. If you haven't got the resources, because I was going to go to film school, and when I looked at the cost and everything, I just thought, no, that is not going to work. So I had to think, how can I do this without going to film school? And the quickest and easiest option was for me was just hands-on, learn it, and just, I'm still learning. Do you get what I mean? But it's just hands-on. Get your phone out and make, like, I literally, because I run, oh yeah, and I should put that out there as well. So I run filmmaking workshops. So I run an academy called Aysha Scott Academy. So look on my website, because you can holler at me and I can give you information, and you can even sign up to one of my classes. But where I was going with that is I just finished my term, and I was teaching some young people, and we made 5 short films. And
That's great.
that's what I'm saying. It's people think it's so in depth, but it can be so simple. It's all about planning, structure. So you don't know how to write a script. Learn from the basics from the beginning. So how you need your story. So what story do you want to create? What story do you want to make to put out there? You get your story together. Once your story's together, you have some friends read it. Get some feedback on the story. What's missing? If you got holes in your script or you got questions that people are asking, get them filled in. Get your story tight. Once you've got your story, you go out there, you get some friends. Look, I've got this film that I want to make, and keep it simple. Like in the beginning, just keep it 1 or 2 characters. Keep it so basic, 1 location, and you can just film that in your garden, in your bedroom. Do you get what I mean? And then the process starts to, once you do it once, you start to expand and think, okay, well, I've made a 5-minute short on my phone. Now I want to try and make a 10-minute short with a bigger crew and some camera equipment. And you just snowballed from there, really.
The storytelling itself. I want to learn, what is your take on the power of storytelling in the diaspora community? And in this case, again, the Black British or the Black British Jamaicans.
I just think it's so important that we are represented, as I mentioned before, because being not seen, it can create so much in sort of who you are as a human being, growing up. So when I was growing up, I didn't see any Black people hardly on TV. And it does give you that sort of thing growing up of you have to look a certain way. So I used to wear a lot of sort of weaves and live up to this ideal image that I always used to see that was always thrown in front of me. So I feel like it's just so important that we see ourselves, that we see a representation of just who we are, who we are as a Black person. We need to see different variations of Black people, different complexions, because even in society and in the media, it's this whole colorism thing, and it's a lot of sort of, they will want to put, if they choose a Black lead, it's always sort of a light-skinned person, and we just need to see ourselves. It just needs to be a normal thing where you switch on your telly and you'll be like, oh, that looks like my cousin, or oh, that looks like my auntie, and it's not like someone other than ourselves who has chosen that character, because a lot of the time it's down to the gatekeepers of how we are portrayed and represented. And most of the time, the gatekeepers are white and they're not Black. So we don't really get a representation of ourselves. But it's so important just for who we are as a race, who we are as just a community. And it's just important that it's just how it should be. Why shouldn't our stories be told? Why shouldn't we have that platform to put ourselves out there and just be as every other human is out there? Why shouldn't we see ourselves all the time? Why shouldn't our children see a reflection of themselves on TV?
A reflection.
Yeah.
All right. I like that.